All aboard. The main story is complete, but there's a fun extra little... Hold on. There we go. Yeah, a fun little extra case, much like the aquarium case from Dual Destinies. And it begins with a familiar and, well, you either love him or you hate him face.
I'm not completely heartless. I'll even throw that time machine you cherish so much overboard with you.
Please take me back! Back to that blissful moment!
It's almost time for the reception, milady.
It actually really worked.
Wait for the ad break. Okay, let me make sure I've got this straight. When your magic panties appear, I do a backflip into a handstand and then blow out the candle? No, Athena, you've got it all wrong. You do a backflip through the ring of fire while holding the candle in your mouth. There's no way I'll ever be able to do that. Sure you can. I believe in you, Athena. Trucy, what are you and Athena up to? Athena's agreed to be a part-time performer in my magic show. I couldn't say no to some extra cash, but I probably should have thought it through first. Now it's human cannonball this, guillotine that! It's not like I have 9 lives, you know! You've made your bed, Athena. Now you've got to lie in it. No, I'm too young to be taking out a life insurance policy already! My name is Phoenix Wright. I'm the head of this law office. And since when did you become the head of this office, Daddy? I mean, who exactly does all the cleaning, accounting, and scheduling around here, huh? You've got me there, Trucy. This is Trucy Wright. She's my adopted daughter and a magician. And I'm Athena Sykes, the rising star lawyer of the Write Anything Agency. Or rather, the rising star assistant to Trucy, you mean. If I don't get back into a courtroom soon, I'm going to forget everything I ever learned. Speaking of the courtroom, we haven't exactly had any clients lately, have we? Business is as slow as ever, huh, Nick? Bet you made more money back when you played the piano. Yo, long time no see! Larry? I haven't seen you in years. What brings you here all of a sudden? Some big news, that's what. Okay. Who's this guy, boss? This is Larry Butts. He's, well, let's just say he's an old friend of mine. So, Larry, what's so big that you had to come and tell me in person? There's somebody I want you to meet. Hey, you can come in now. All right. How do you do? Hi? That dress, is that a wedding dress? Yes, it is. My name is Ellen Wyatt. I'm a domestic servant, a maid of the Sprocket household. Sprocket? As in Sprocket Aviation? Yes, that's the one. Wow, Mr. Wright, Sprocket Aviation is a really big airline company. You've heard of Rainbow Airlines, right? The one they call RAL for short? Yeah, that does sound familiar. Well, it's run by Sprocket Aviation. I see. Well, what is a Sprocket family maid doing here in a wedding dress? So, actually, we've decided to get married. You what? I'm not so young anymore, you know. I figured it's time to finally settle down. What? You're getting married? No way. I don't believe it. Besides, why would someone as well put together as her choose someone as flaky as Larry? You're kidding, right? Jealous? I don't blame you, but green's really not your color, you know. All right, Larry, lay it on me. In all seriousness, Larry, are you really getting married? Not right away, but that's the plan. We're gonna elope, see? Like love on the run, I guess you could say. Isn't that right, Ellie? Larry, I do believe there's been a major misunderstanding here. My heart already belongs to another. I'm in love with Soren. Not you. Say what? That's about what I thought. But Ellie, baby, weren't you running away with me so we could get married? As I said, you misunderstand. You said you'd help me escape. That's the only reason I ran away with you. This is not happening. I even shook off the police for you. And for what? That's it. If we can't be together, my life is over. I'm gonna end it all. Wait, back up. Did you say you shook off the police? Yes, we had to, because we're lovers on the lam. Sorry, Miss Wyatt, but can you maybe fill me in on what's going on? To tell the truth, I'm being pursued by the police as a murder suspect. Murder? They think you killed somebody? I happened to find a dead body at my reception, so the suspicion fell on me. They had me confined in a separate room. And that's when Larry came along and helped me escape. I'm sorry, but what? Oh, Nick! Me and Ellie were going to elope. We were gonna put it all on the line for true love. But the police tried to stop us, so we had to scramble to shake them off. Where did it all go wrong? I feel a migraine coming on. Please help me. The police are sure to be intensifying their search. Look, it's even on TV. More news on the murder suspect and an unidentified man on the run from the police. A photo of the suspect, Miss Ellen Wyatt, has just been released by the police. Sources say that the 21-year-old is suspected of clubbing the victim, 25-year-old Dumas Gloomsbury, to death in the wedding reception hall after her banquet. The two fugitives are said to be highly agitated and dangerous. If you see them... You've got to be kidding me. Oh, brother. I guess this means we're technically harboring a pair of fugitives here, huh? Oh, Nick, what's a guy to do? Ellie's dumped me hardcore. I'm the one who should be crying. I haven't seen you in ages. Where have you been all this time? You mean you don't know? You've really got to stop living under a rock and get out more. I'm the hippest, hottest picture book author in the business. Maurice Denim. I can't believe you didn't know that by taking the picture book world by storm. That I'm taking the picture book world by storm. Oh, but I know you. You're the one who wrote Franzie's Whippity Whip Trip, right? Now that you mention it, I think I did hear something about a one-hit wonder. One-hit wonder? What the heck, Nick? I'll have you know I just created a brand new character to moderate acclaim. He's wildly popular with 18 to 24-year-old women everywhere. Look, you can see his cute self all over this jacket. What, that heart-shaped pork chop? He's not a pork chop! He's the main character in my latest picture book. A lovable little soul who pierces the hearts of lovers with his arrows of amour. Cute Piglet! And you can see this adorable fellow make his debut in Cute Piglet's Lovey-Dovey Lark. In stores now! Are you sure? Because I've never seen that book in stores now or ever. Well, if you ever do see it, do me a favor and buy a copy or 10, will ya? But I thought you were taking the picture book world by storm. Anywho, you'll defend Ellie in court, right, buddy? Please, I'm begging you, I didn't murder anyone. I swear I'm as clean and pure as this pure white dress. No psyche locks. I guess that means she's telling the truth. But helping a fugitive on the run? What am I getting myself into? There's actually one more thing I really need to tell you. Oh? You might find this hard to believe, but the truth is, I'm a time traveler. Huh? I'm not sure I follow. After the wedding reception, I was attacked. I was moments away from my death. But then, in that instant, I made a wish upon this pendant around my neck. And I went back in time to just before the reception started. Only this time around, the man who was trying to kill me was already dead. And somehow, I became the suspect for his murder. It's as if history had been rewritten. Now wait just a minute here. I don't understand. Are you saying that... What's going on? Mr. Wright, there are police cars outside. And not just one or two, but a whole bunch. Daddy, a whole squad of officers says the building's surrounded. What? This is the police. There is no escape. Drop your weapons and come out with your hands up. Nick, what do we do? Heck if I know. I see a bunch of armed officers out there. 1, 2, 3. 44, 45. Wow, talk about overkill. Listen here, you criminals. Think about what you're putting your poor parents through. I'm sure this isn't how they raised you. Think about their smiling faces and their warm home-cooked meals. Ah, who in the heck are you? A detective? Now hold on there. Hey, you can't go in there. It's too dangerous. Wait! Is everyone okay in here, Mr. Wright? Emma? I'm sorry for all the commotion. So what in the world is going on? Well, I raced on over as soon as I heard that it was Mr. Butts who'd holed himself up in here. With the murder suspect after he made off with her. And the fleet of patrol cars. The police are being extra careful. Because apparently, a certain somebody yelled out, "Stay back, I have a bomb." I'm sure you can guess who I'm talking about. Well, the police were being so persistent I had to do something, so I tried bluffing. You know, like you do in court, Nick. Please leave me out of this. Well, Mr. Wright, I'm bringing this young lady in for questioning. So, if you want to talk with her, you'll have to do it down at the detention center. I suppose I should thank you for your thoughtful gift of trouble and mayhem, Larry. Come on, Nick, we gotta get down to the detention center right away. Listen, Larry, I haven't even decided whether I'm going to take on this case or not. But I know you will, because it's you. Guess I've got no choice but to tag along and help then. What? And skip out on me? We've only just started practicing your repertoire, you know? Huh? You'd better stay in practice with Trucy, Athena. A promise is a promise, after all. That's cold, boss. You've got to get me out of this. I can't take it anymore. Let's get practicing, Athena. Next up is some training for the water tank escape trick. Stick your head in this bucket of water and hold your breath for 15 minutes. No! Stop, I'm begging you! Ah, she's getting away! You get back here, Athena! I guess the only person cut out to be Trucy's assistant is Apollo. Well, I guess we better get to the detention center and ask Miss Wyatt some questions. Especially about that whole time-traveling business she was talking about. Oh, it's you, Mr. Wright. Miss Wyatt, would you mind if I asked you a few questions? Nick is gonna defend you, Ellie. Isn't that great? Larry, I told you I haven't decided yet. What? You're not going to take my case? I'm never gonna be happy. Miss Wyatt? What the? Did I do something wrong? Miss Wyatt, please calm down. I'm innocent, I tell you. But the police won't believe me. And neither will anyone else. I'm gonna die alone in a jail cell. Alright, I'll do it. I'll take your case. Just please stop crying. You will? The fact that Larry was the one who brought you to me had me a little worried, but you don't seem like a killer to me. Oh, thank you! Thanks, Nick. I knew you'd come through. Did I really have a choice? I guess not. In any case, it doesn't seem like Miss Wyatt killed anybody. Plus, it's not like I'm up to my ears in work at the moment. Miss Wyatt, Ellen, well, let's do this together. Oh, thank you, Mr. Wright. There, it's going to be okay. Now, try to pull yourself together. All right, just give me a moment. I'm truly grateful to you for taking on my defense, Mr. Wright. Sure, no problem. Wow, she literally pulled herself together. Ellen, please tell me everything you can about the incident. All right. It happened after the wedding reception. I was attacked by Mr. Gloomsbury. Wasn't Gloomsbury the name of the victim in that news report? Maybe I should listen to what she has to say first, though, before I start asking questions. How dare that guy lay a hand on somebody else's blushing bride? What a creep! That's rich coming from you. Do you have any idea why he'd attack you? No, but... But what? Well, to tell the truth, Mr. Gloomsbury didn't seem very happy about me getting married. Jeez, jealous much? What a loser! Mr. Gloomsbury had forced me onto the Vista deck and was going to push me off. Oh, how frightening it all was! I was just about to lose my life on what should have been the happiest day of my life. So that's why I made a wish upon this pendant. That pendant? Yes, it was a gift from my husband-to-be, Soren. He said it's a symbol of our love. And so you made a wish on it? Now, you may think what I'm about to say is very strange, but... I beg the pendant, please take me back to that blissful moment. And you know what? It worked! It brought me back to just before the reception started. So the time-traveling thing you mentioned back at my office? I'm sorry, but I have to say, it's pretty unbelievable. It's unbelievable! I knew you'd never believe me! Nick, Ellie here is an honest-to-goodness time traveler. Don't you believe your own client? The magic of that pen had set her back in time before the creep could kill her. Ha 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 ha. Sure, Larry, sure. But it's really true, I tell you. This pendant is an important part of the time machine Soren made. I begged it for help and it really did send me back in time. Is she listening to herself? I even experienced the reception again, even though we'd already held it once before. And during it, everyone there acted as if nothing unusual was happening at all. Could you not cook while we're talking, please? Alright, so when and how did you come under suspicion of murder? Well, after the reception ended, the second reception, I mean, I went back to the reception hall and started cleaning up the place by myself. But hold on. Cleaning? Why were you cleaning on your own wedding day? For my last task as a servant of the Sprocket household, I offered to take on the preparation and clean up of the reception banquet. I see. I started to move one of the decorative lanterns in the room, but it was so heavy I lost control of it, causing it to topple over and break open. That's when I saw Mr. Gloopsbury's dead body inside the lantern. So you simply happened to be the first to discover the body, right? That's right. I just came across it by accident. But I became confused and didn't know what to do. That's when some of my in-laws saw me and jumped to the conclusion that I had killed him. So this Gloomsbury guy tried to kill Ellen, but then wound up dead himself after Ellen traveled back in time? A time machine and a magic pendant. How could any of this be possible? Ellie, why don't you tell Nick about that other thing, too? About that shadowy figure you saw when you were being attacked. Yes, good idea, Larry. So what's the shadowy figure you saw, Ellen? It was when Mr. Gloomsbury was attacking me. Right after I made a wish upon this pendant, I started to pass out. But just then, just as I lost consciousness, I saw somebody strike Mr. Gloomsbury from behind. You did? Then that person must be the true culprit. Did you see who it was? I'm afraid not. Have you told anybody else about this? I told some of my in-laws, but nobody took me seriously. They said it was all just a dream. I can't exactly say I blame them. I mean, time travel? Larry, for my peace of mind, please tell me that figure wasn't you. Of course it wasn't! So you and Larry here were never planning on getting married, right? That's right. We've only had a few brief interactions, so I can't say I know him at all. Oh, Ellie, how can you say that? You and me are bound by fate, I'm telling you. We're meant to be together. But what? You're wrong, Larry. I've never been so right, baby. It's as plain as the goatee on my chin. Larry, don't make me send you to timeout. Now, can you tell me about the groom, Ellen? What's he like? His name is Soren Sprocket. Oh, he's the most wonderful man. He is truly my destiny. Did you say Soren Sprocket, as in... That's right, the next president of Sprocket Aviation. Wait, he's in line to take over the company? He's nothing but a rich, spoiled brat. I'm clearly the better choice, clearly. Larry, you and Soren are as different as night and day. There's no comparison. Ellie, you're breaking my achy breaky heart. So she's marrying into money, huh? I can't believe Soren chose me, a simple house servant. He's my knight in shining armor, my prince. Oh, my Soren. I guess I've asked her all I can for now. Spick and span, spick and span. Ellen, what are you doing? I want to make everything clean and beautiful for when Soren comes. I can't have my future hubby come into a dirty room, now can I? It has to be spotless, just like this white dress. Spick and span, spick and span. Let's hope we can wipe away all suspicion from you soon, too. Nick, we'd better get to the crime scene right away. What, you're coming too? Of course I am. If I solve the crime and reveal the true killer with my super sleuthing skills, Ellie might change her mind about me, you know? You never get the message, do you, Larry? Next stop, the mooring dock in Sprocket Park. Come on, Nick, let's go. So this is Sprocket Park, but where's the reception hall? Reception hall? Oh, that's... Wow, looky there! What? What is it? I just spotted me a cute mamacita. Don't wait up, Nick. Hold on, where's the reception hall? Sorry, Nick, the man's gotta stop and smell the roses when they appear. I am an artist, after all. Oh, miss! Yoo-hoo! I thought he was going to take me to the crime scene. Ah, well, I'm sure he'll come slinking back when he inevitably gets rejected. I'll just take a quick look around until then. Wow, that huge airship is moored to just this skinny little tower. I know it's tied down and all, but it still looks like a good breeze could send it flying. Wow, that airship is huge! Oops, didn't mean to say that out loud. I've only ever seen airships like this up in the sky. But I've gotta say, they're mighty impressive when you can see them up close like this. So this bench hit that sign, huh? Hopefully, it didn't hit a person too. That would be a catastrophe. I guess from now on, whenever I'm walking around outside, I'd better be on the lookout for unidentified flying furniture too. Wow, this thing's really banged up. You look at the sign? They say it got damaged by heavy winds yesterday. A big gust sent that bench flying into it. Well, that's what they're saying anyway. I see. The wind caused that? More like a tornado. The repair guy was saying, don't touch, it's dangerous. I see. Thanks for the heads up. Poor guy. Looks like it was a lot of work. Hey, sorry about that. I actually thought you'd be back sooner. Didn't work out, huh? Lay off, man! I wasn't on my game today! So now that you're done, you mind telling me where the reception hall is already? What do you mean? It's right there in front of you. Huh? Right in front of... Wait, what's that say? Flying Chapel? You mean to tell me... Yep, Ellie's reception was on that airship! Whoa, a sky-high reception hall? Yep, and that's where you'll find the crime scene. Man, not only does that airship fly through the sky, but the space-time continuum too. But the happy couple's honeymoon got left far behind when it made that time skip, though. Here, check the airship out for yourself with this pamphlet. By the way, I figured you could use some backup, so I called in some help for you. You did? Yep, should be here any minute now. That red sports car! Larry, don't tell me you called... You know, buddy. I trust you've been well, right? Surprise! Now admit it. That was a pretty good Mr. Edgeworth impression, wasn't it? Maya, what are you doing here? Larry called me up. He said something about it finally being time for him to tie the old knot. But that's funny. I'm pretty sure he mentioned something about being here with his bride. Maya, I know this is sudden, but please marry me! Nick, what's Larry talking about? He was dumped by his bride. Well, by his imaginary bride, anyway. Wow, poor Larry. That's a new low, even for him. But hey, imaginary girlfriends never hurt anyone, right? More power to him. This is Maya Fey. She's been abroad for her training as a spirit medium. But now that her training is over, she's back home here in the States. That's right, the new and improved Maya Fey is on the scene. Spirit and girl power at the ready. Look at you, Maya, all grown up and as cute as ever. Ooh, you know what? I just realized something. If I ever got married, I'd miss out on all the fun of always meeting somebody new. I see you haven't changed a bit, Larry. Edgeworth! I figured that car belonged to you. But when did you become Maya's chauffeur? It's nothing like that. I just happened to run into her en route and picked her up. And by run into her, I mean she jumped out in front of my car. I nearly ran her down. This is Miles Edgeworth. He's a friend of mine and the district's chief prosecutor. I heard he's been busy lately. So what brings you here? Wait, don't tell me Larry called you up too. He did. However, I have business of my own here at the crime scene. Business? What kind of business? Just so you know, right, I am the lead prosecutor on this case. What? You? Yes. It appears we'll be standing on opposite ends of the battlefield this time around. So I'll be up against Edgeworth tomorrow. But I don't get it, Edgeworth. What about this case warrants the personal attention of the district's chief prosecutor? It's a bit complicated, to say the least. In what way? The groom is a member of the Sprockets, a family with immense influence. If his bride were to stand trial in court, it would sully the Sprocket name. So they tried to apply some pressure on the prosecutor's office. Pressure to settle it amicably, right? What do you mean, settle it amicably? It means that they're trying to sweep this whole thing under the rug. Wow, Sprocket Aviation really has that much clout? Yes, they have especially strong ties in both the political and the judicial worlds. To the point where no one dares to oppose them. Don't tell me that includes you. Don't be ridiculous, right? It's quite the opposite. The prosecutor's office is filled with cowards, as I found out. Every last one of my subordinates was loath to prosecute a Sprocket. So that's why you decided to take on the case yourself, right? That's right. I will personally see to it that justice is served. I always prosecute to the utmost of my abilities, regardless of who I'm up against. For that is a part of my creed. Nothing and no one can sway me from that, not even the almighty Sprockets. Right. If they think they can use their influence to bend the truth, they have another thing coming. You know, I almost feel sorry for them. They were only trying to protect their interests. But all they got instead was you. Edgy, come on, man! How can you prosecute my poor sweet Allie? What kind of heartless jerk are you? I'm simply doing my job. And I'm warning you, right? I won't hold back, not for you or anyone else. Thanks for the warning, your righteousness. So, how's it going, Mr. Chief Prosecutor? Busy as always, I presume? Of course, unlike somebody who has too few clients and too much time on his hands. Huh, guess that explains why your brow is more furrowed than the last time I saw you. Maybe you should learn to relax a little, Edgeworth. Nice try, right? But as always, I have no intention of showing anyone any mercy. Including you. As inflexible as ever, I see. Besides, I think I've mellowed out a bit with age. So if anything, those furrows should have smoothed out a little as well. Honestly, Edgeworth, are you really that blind to yourself? Excuse me? He's really self-conscious about those lines, isn't he? Edgeworth, about this incident. Don't forget, Wright, I'm the prosecutor for this case. Need I remind you that I'm not in the habit of sharing information with my adversaries? No, I guess we are adversaries for now. And you, Larry? Me? I'd like you to come with me. You have a lot to answer for after that little stunt you pulled with the suspect. But Edgy, we're all pals, aren't we? Personal appeals won't work on me, Larry. Now, come along. What? Nick, help me out here! Is it just me, or is Mr. Edgeworth as relentless as ever? Yeah, I guess some things never change. So much for mellowing out. Well, Nick, we'd better hop to it too. Hop to what? Investigating the crime scene, of course. What else? It's been a long time since you and I teamed up like this. This is going to be fun. Fun, huh? It has been a long time, though, since we were last together like this. All right, to the crime scene then. Yeah, and away we go. So this is the reception hall. According to the pamphlet, we're right here. Yikes, we're pretty high up. But at least we're indoors, so it doesn't seem so bad. Oh look, Nick, it's Emma. Hey Emma, over here. Mr. Wright, Maya, does this mean you've taken the case? Yeah, that's how things kind of turned out. So, do you mind if we take a look around? Be my guest. We've pretty much wrapped up our investigation, so go right ahead. Now's a good chance to find out more about the case from Emma, too. Edgeworth wouldn't tell us anything about this case. So, do you think you could give us a rundown? Well, seeing as he's going to be prosecuting, I'd expect him to be tight-lipped about it. The incident occurred yesterday on September 20th. It happened after the wedding reception, which lasted from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., huh? Got it. By the way, you didn't hear about any time traveling or anything, did you? Time traveling? What do you mean? Oh, nothing. Forget it. That's pretty much the response I expected. The victim's name is Dumas Gloomsbury. He was a servant in the Sprocket family household. Ellen was a maid for that family as well, so that means the two of them were co-workers? Yes, they apparently knew each other. Mr. Gloomsbury was the lead servant, after all. He was very serious about his work, but he was also a very closed and private man. So the other servants called him Mr. Doom and Gloom behind his back. If he was the lead servant, he must have been higher ranked than Ellen. What makes the police think Ellen killed this man, a guy who was essentially her boss? We don't know the defendant's motive yet, but the circumstances surrounding the discovery of the body don't bode well for her. And what circumstances are these exactly? Well, some of her in-laws saw what looked like the immediate aftermath of the murder. The suspect was standing in front of the body with the murder weapon still in her hands. But why would a bride who was just about to start a happy new life kill someone? Do the police have an explanation for that? Yeah, about that. They believe the victim attacked the suspect and was killed when she fought back. But why did he attack her to begin with? Well, a mere servant girl was going to suddenly be the wife of the future president. Mr. Gloomsbury must have been more than just a little jealous of her. So this Mr. Doom and Gloom attacked Ellen first? But if she was only trying to protect herself, wouldn't that count as justified self-defense on her part, Nick? It would. There's a good chance she'd be acquitted if we could prove that, but I wonder what Edgeworth will have up his sleeve to counter that claim. But wow, a servant girl marrying the future president of such a huge company. It sounds like a modern-day fairy tale. It does, doesn't it? Thing is, not everyone was on board with their union, apparently. The suspect never had any family or relatives to depend on, so she was working as a live-in maid for the Sprocket family to support herself. So a maid with no family or fortune was set to marry the president's son, huh? I guess it's not surprising that ruffled a feather or two. Yes, apparently the groom's parents and all of his other relatives were strongly opposed. But that didn't stop the young couple from deciding to go ahead with their wedding. Love flourishes in the face of adversity. Oh, is that how it works? Yep! If you ever have any questions about love, just ask me. I'm a qualified expert. I spent all of my spare time in Korean watching soap operas on TV. I'm not sure that's enough to make you a qualified anything, Maya. Oh, and by the way, I heard the suspect faced her fair share of harassment too. And from the sound of it, it got pretty ugly for her. So even though this incident could cause a huge scandal for the company, it might be a boon for those who opposed their marriage to begin with. After all, with Ellen's arrest and everything, the marriage is most definitely off now. So what was the murder weapon, Emma? This clock with a secret mechanism built into it. It was on display here in the reception hall. The suspect was holding it when the murder was discovered. So the victim was clubbed to death with this, huh? But that's funny. There's no blood on it as far as I can tell. Maybe it was wiped off in an attempt to tamper with the evidence? But there was definitely a luminol reaction. And it matches up with the shape of the injury, so it's gotta be the murder weapon. What a funny looking clock. They call it the timekeeper. The idea is that it's a time machine. Every time the couple sees it, it'll bring them back to the memory of their wedding day. A time machine, huh? Come to think of it, Ellen said her pendant was a part of a time machine. I wonder how the secret mechanism in this thing works. This must be the lantern the body was found in. Ellen managed to move it quite a ways. It looks like a cow, but it's pretty badly broken. That's not a cow, Nick. That's Pegasus, the flying horse. No way. It's definitely a cow. It's got horns and everything. But look, it has wings. Cows don't have wings. So it's Pegasus, I tell you. Oh, I know. That pamphlet should tell us. Let's see. Apparently, it's called a pegamoo. I did not see that coming. Yet somehow, the name really captures the essence of what this creature is, you know? Huh, that's strange. What is? Well, this pegamoo is definitely a male pega bull, right? Yeah, I'd say so, with the horns and all. Okay, well, that pegamoo over there is also a pega bull. But take a look at the pamphlet. See? The one on the right says pega bull, but the other one says pega cow, a female pegamoo. Right. The pamphlet goes on to say how they have pegamoos for the happy couple. So for Ellen's ceremony, there should have been a male and female pair of pegamoos. But for some reason, there are two males here. Maybe somebody made a mistake when they were setting up the room? It's hard to believe a fancy place like this would make that kind of blunder, though. In any case, we'd better check this thing out. Did this come from the lantern? It's covered in blood. Maybe it got on there when the killer was putting the body in the lantern? Can you imagine going to open a door and finding the knob covered with blood? That'd be bloody awful, to say the least. What do you think this is, Maya? It looks like a flower petal to me. What an unusual shape for a flower petal. Do you suppose it's from one of the flowers here in the reception hall? No, I don't see a single flower like this at any of the tables. I wonder where it came from. Hey, what's this? Ooh, let me take a look. Grab Ellen when convenient, then send her off from the Vista deck. It looks like a note outlining the murder plot. Whoever wrote it has better handwriting than me, but it looks like they wrote it in a rush. And why do you say that? Because the writing is only smudged starting from the middle of each line. That happens when a right-handed person with a slight hook writes in a hurry. I do it sometimes myself when I'm not paying attention to where my hand is on the page. Guess I'll take your word for that, Miss Bad Handwriting Expert. Hey, even I don't smudge my handwriting this badly. All right. Let's get back to the note. That note was apparently written by the victim. But why would he feel the need to write instructions to himself like this? Are you sure the victim wrote it? I sometimes write a note to myself before I go shopping. Potatoes, carrots, onions, flour. Maya, are you craving curry rice or something? Whoops. So, Emma, where's this Vista deck the note mentions? It's that heliport you see right outside the window over there. So he planned on pushing Ellen off from there? What a monster. So this is where the body was found. Skinning a bot. And the first person to find it was Ellen. Emma, what can you tell me about the condition of the body when it was found? Let's see. The victim was apparently hit on the back of the head. Here's a photo of the scene as we found it. I guess that about does it for this lantern. So that's the Vista deck out there. I bet the view is amazing. But I guess it must also kind of freak you out, huh, Nick? Yeah, kind of. Mostly because there's no surviving a fall that from way up here. This must be where the time machine was placed. I can't believe that such a beautiful memento was used for murder. It's just awful. Nick, we have to prove Ellen's innocence, no matter what it takes. I agree. We can't let this go down as the saddest flying wedding reception in history. This is the sweetheart table where the bride and groom sit. Where they gorge themselves on the wedding feast, you mean? I'd be too nervous to eat in front of a bunch of guests like this, though. They say that newlyweds are usually really busy during the reception, you know? They have to greet and talk with all the guests that came to give their blessings. They don't actually get all that much time to enjoy their dinner. Aww, I wouldn't be able to stand that. I can imagine having a huge feast right in front of me and not being able to eat it. They say brides tend to have an especially hard time because of their wedding dresses. With those tight corsets squeezing their waists, they can barely eat a bite. Really? It sounds like wedding receptions are absolute torture. I guess food still wins out over romance in Maya's book. I think that about does it for this area. It's a hot air balloon, a symbol of humanity's ambition to take to the skies. It's kind of a romantic notion, don't you think? Yeah, but I just noticed that it doesn't seem to be tied up to the ceiling all that well. I'm sure it's fine. Please don't let it fall on my head. A model airplane, the perfect decoration for an airline company wedding. And a propeller plane like this lends the room a great old-timey feel. Ooh, I'd love to see the Steel Samurai fly a plane like this. Can you picture it? The Steel Samurai is zipping through the clouds over Neo Old Tokyo? If Sprocket Aviation ever becomes a sponsor of the show, I could see it happening. Why didn't I think of that? I think I'll go suggest the idea to them later. Please, at least wait until after the trial is over. Wow, look at the horns on this flying bovine. He must be a bull. It seems he made it through the ceremony in one piece. By the look of those wheels, I bet he can be rolled around rather easily too. Yeah, I bet it would be quite a hassle if you had to lift and carry him everywhere. And this is what the backside looks like. What's that by the bottom of his tail? A wheel handle? Oh, I get it. This way they can get inside to change the light bulbs. I see they left the wheel handle on the inside unpainted. I guess they figured nobody will see it, so why bother? It makes sense to cut costs where you can. Well, overall, I can't say I see anything strange about this thing. It looks like a business card wallet. I wonder whose it is. That face looks awfully familiar. Yes. Yes, it does. Guess I'll bring it to him later. It's a fog machine. I wonder if they used it during the reception. Ooh! Hey, Nick, go stand over there for a sec. Why? Just because! Now go! All right. I've got a bad feeling about this. Fogmaster 9000, on! Maya, no! Huh? Aw, nothing happened. Looks like it won't work without some dry ice. Darn it! All I wanted to do was surround you in a thick cloud of smoke. Well, I guess that just about does it for the crime scene. Hey, Nick. I want to see the rest of the airship. We might as well, since we're here. True, we might even run into some of the other people involved in the case. Nick, how long has that guy been standing there? I didn't even notice him until just now. Excuse me, are you with Sprocket Aviation? Huh? Nick, he wrote something on that paper airplane. I guess we're supposed to read it then? Let's see here. Get out, intruders. Well, that was a rather cold welcome. Mr. Wright, Maya, meet the lone son of the president of Sprocket Aviation, Soren Sprocket. Or to put it another way, the future president of Sprocket Aviation. So he's Ellen's fiance? Oh, there he goes. He's kind of an eccentric. I hear he's the genius inventor behind many of Sprocket Aviation's business successes. An inventor, huh? Yep, he even designed this airship. That's pretty impressive. Nick, this is no time to be standing around gawking. We have to go after him. We need to ask him some questions about Ellen. Oh, right. It looked like he was heading outside. There he is. Excuse me, could we talk to you? Excuse me, do you mind if I ask what you're doing? He sure is riding up a storm. It is possible. If an enormous change in mass could be detected at that observation point, then theoretically, matter can retain its form even as it crosses the event horizon. Let's just see what he has to say about Ellen. Excuse me, but we'll be representing Ellen in court tomorrow. So, can we ask you about the case? Ow! Well, what the? Not interested. Not interested? How can you say something like that? This is about your fiancée. She's under arrest, you know. The diameter of the airship is approximately 80 feet. The amount of energy necessary to move matter comprised of that amount of masses. He's off in his own little world. I can't believe he said he was not interested in talking about his own bride's arrest. We'll just have to talk on his level then, with something he might be interested in. Could you take a look at this? Is that Ellen's? Ellen told us that she traveled through time during the incident. She said it happened after she made a wish on this pendant. You mean to say you two are Ellen's lawyers? Yes, I just told you that a minute ago. Sorry, I was lost in thought. He wasn't even listening? Oh boy. He's not at all what I expected, based on Ellen's gushing testimonial anyway. We'd like to ask you about Ellen's case, if you don't mind. I don't know a thing about it, so why don't you go ask the police? In other words, not interested. This guy's the worst. Now I feel sorry for poor Ellen. In that case, can I ask you about how Ellen traveled through time? Go on. Guess that got your attention. So, is time travel really even possible? Yes, it is possible. Alrighty then. At the same time, it is also impossible. The pendant I gave Ellen is not supposed to operate as a time machine by itself. What do you mean? The timekeeper, that clock we had displayed in the reception hall. That is the body of the time machine. The pendant is simply a part. That clock was the murder weapon, wasn't it? But it's a time machine, too? What Ellen experienced is akin to traveling down a road by car key. Physically and metaphysically, it should be impossible. Unless, maybe the quantum system inside the pendant somehow accidentally interfered with the natural flow of the fourth dimension? We're losing him again. Maybe we better ask him some more about the time machine. So you've been researching time travel, have you? Moving through the space-time continuum would be man's ultimate means of travel. Time travel is a mode of transportation? Since the dawn of time, man has developed multifarious methods of transportation. Horses, steam engines, gas engines, airplanes, spaceships. But they are all fundamentally similar in that they can constitute three-dimensional movement. Travel through the space-time continuum would shift mankind into a new paradigm. I don't know why, Nick, but I'm getting awfully sleepy all of a sudden. For generations, sprocket aviation has advanced the development of transportation. Therefore, it's only natural that I would research time travel as man's next great leap. Oh, is he done? So what exactly does all that stuff he was saying mean, Nick? Well, basically it's like taking a hamburger joint and adding a drive-thru to it, I guess. Oh, I get it. It's the same burger, but with a quicker and more efficient delivery system. So what Soren really wants to do is launch humanity into the future. Launch, not lunch. But do you really believe that time travel is possible? It only becomes truly impossible when man stops daring to believe. Besides, time travelers do exist, you know. But you wouldn't understand. Did you hear that, Nick? Time travelers really do exist. All I know is Soren isn't the easiest guy to wrap your head around. Oh, I don't know. I kind of like the way he talks. It's full of hope for the future. He's more passionate than I thought, too. When it comes to inventions, anyway. Yeah, his apparent lack of concern for Ellen is troubling, though. So, I hear that the rest of the Sprocket family was opposed to your marriage. What are your thoughts on that? Master Soren. It is time for the meeting on the next term's project. What is this? Daydreaming about your inventions again? Tut tut, you are the future president. You must consider the business side too. It is I. I found Soren. Send the car over at once. I'm not interested. Oh, Master Soren, you do give me quite the headache at times. In any case, your attendant is waiting. Please go to him now. Excuse me, but who are you? Oh, where are my manners? My name is Pierce Nickety. Please call me Pierce. I'm the Sprocket family butler. Ad break. Nick, a butler! I didn't know they actually still existed. I thought they were just on TV and stuff. And who might you be, if you don't mind my asking? Oh, I'm Phoenix Wright, Ellen Wyatt's lawyer. And I'm his assistant, Maya Fey. I'm a spirit medium. Oh, so it is you. I am most grateful to you for taking on Miss Ellen's defense. You have my sincerest thanks. Don't mention it. So, hey, speaking of the case... Oh, one moment, please. Wow, what a beautiful pocket watch. Oh, this? It's just a bit of a good luck charm. That's one expensive good luck charm. But I guess it makes sense, knowing the time is pretty important in his line of work. So I guess that pocket watch is as important to him as my attorney's badge is to me. There is a little time before I must attend to Master Soren again. Why not come to Sprocket Manor? Huh? You mean to Soren's home? As a token of appreciation for taking on Miss Ellen's defense, I would like to serve you some delicious tea and refreshments. Oh boy, Nick! A fancy high society tea party with high-class snacks and everything! And what about the investigation? Are you kidding? What better place to investigate next than Soren's house? I don't know. Do you really think his house is going to give us any new leads? Of course it will! I say we take the butler up on his kind offer and go to Soren's place. All right, you win. Very good. To Sprocket Manor, then. Wow, this place does not disappoint. Ooh, I'm so excited. Whoa, slow down, Maya. The mansion isn't going anywhere. Now then, we won't have to worry about anyone untoward eavesdropping here. I take it you wanted to ask me some questions? Huh? That's why you invited us here? I am sorry to have tricked you like this, but this is a murder after all. I couldn't talk openly about it in public and risk sullying the Sprocket family's reputation. Aww, and I was really looking forward to all those fancy snacks too. There, Maya, don't cry. This Pierce guy is one shrewd man. Hey Nick, look at that cute vintage radio. Radio? Oh, that thing over there under the stuffed bull's head. I'm gonna take a closer look. I thought I told you to settle down. I'm sorry. Not to worry. Wow, that little mech fixed it right up. I'm not only the butler, but I'm also Sprocket Aviation's repair department director. One might say that patching things up is my specialty. That was incredible! What is that little doohickey on your shoulder anyway? It's my fixer-upper shoulder mech. Master Soren made it for me. It has too many features and functions to effectively enumerate at the moment, though. That's so cool! I wish I had one of those. Fixing things is a simple matter, but fixing people is a different matter. Even a skilled physician can't bring back the dead. Oh, but forgive me. I seem to have gotten sidetracked. He must be in shock over Mr. Gloomsbury's death. Still, I do need to ask him some questions about the case. I should take a look around and see what I can find out while I'm here, too. Oh, are those pictures of the wedding reception? Yes, I took them with my trusty camera here. Do you mind if we have a look at that photo? Be my guest. Take as long of a look as you like. Well, what do you think of this gorgeous dreamscape? A thick fog billows across the room, making it look as if the couple were walking on clouds. Wow, look at how beautiful Ellen is here. She looks a little nervous, though. She does, doesn't she? Hey, look, there's Pierce. Really? Where? Right there, behind the sweetheart table. Hey, you're right. I bet he was there attending to the happy couple the whole dinner. So, what do you think, Nick? Does anything in this photo stick out at you? No, not at the moment, anyway. Hey Nick, if Ellen really did travel back in time, do you think this photo is of the second reception? You know, after the time jump? I wonder. Excuse me, sir? Yes, can I help you? Ellen told us that she traveled back in time. Would you happen to know anything about that?
Oh, no, I haven't the foggiest idea of what you're talking about.
He climbed up faster than a clam. Excuse me, but there's a card here on the floor.
Well, look at that. It's a Flying Chapel key card.
The Flying Chapel? What areas on the Flying Chapel require a key card, if I may ask?
Mostly areas we want to keep the public out of, such as the staff room and the hold, which is chock full of machinery.
So you can't enter those areas without a key card?
That's right. This one here belongs to Ellen.
Wait, what's Ellen's key card doing here? Did Ellen come back here after the incident occurred?
I don't believe so, and she was arrested by the police straight away this morning. Although, there was a strange man with a gaudy jacket in here earlier.
Was that man wearing a beret by any chance?
Yes, he was, as a matter of fact. He was also wearing sunglasses and a fake mustache.
I knew it. The only question is, what was he doing here? Hey, Nick. Now here's a real lady. She looks smart as a whip, doesn't she? I wonder who she is. We didn't see her on the airship.
That is Selena Sprocket, Soren's elder sister. Beautiful and capable, she was a great lady.
Soren's sister. I think I see the resemblance. Maybe I'll show Pierce this photo later and ask him about her. About the incident Miss Ellen was arrested for. Do you think she did it? Well, I can't prove it yet, but no, I don't think she could have done it. I guess you could call it a gut feeling. I see. I guess we have different opinions then. Do we now? The prosecution says that when Bloomsbury attacked Miss Ellen, she fought back and ended up killing him. I agree with this perspective. Or rather, that is the consensus of the entire Sprocket family. Even so, I heard an interesting story from Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. I heard that the Sprocket family had tried to pressure the prosecutor's office into burying this case. I fear you are mistaken. All we sought was merely a legal consultation. Besides, none of it matters now, as she is no longer a part of this family. Fortunately for us, they had yet to get their marriage license before holding the banquet. So basically, once they realized they couldn't sway the prosecution, they cut her loose. I realize how callous I must sound, but my duty is to protect the Sprocket family, and more specifically, Sprocket Aviation's future and Master Soren, whose genius is essential to the company. I will do anything to achieve that goal. That is my job as the Sprocket family butler. You know, I think Pierce and Mr. Edgeworth would get along really well, don't you think? Yeah, I could easily picture Edgeworth with a butler. Oh, and by the way, I suppose I should tell you about this as well. It's about when the members of the extended family and I discovered the crime. It was sometime after the reception. Some of the master's relatives and I went to clean up the reception hall. And that is when we saw it. A woman standing in front of the victim with the bloody murder weapon in her hand. It was none other than Miss Ellen. But Pierce, it wasn't what it looked like. That's right, she just happened to find the body. I do not know what Miss Ellen has told you, but what we witnessed was unmistakably the moment immediately after the deed had been committed. And that is when I told the police who came in response to my call. I see. So Pierce was the one who reported it to the police, huh? Did Ellen say anything to you about traveling through time? She must have been delirious. There is no need to take such a claim seriously. Soren himself said that time travel was possible, though. Master Soren said that. It sounds like he is still stuck in the past. He's psychologically stuck, I take it. Excuse me. What is it? I see. I believe I told you the madam will be having milk tea. Still, have lemon slices at the ready just in case. We must not disappoint her, understand? You sure are busy. All in a day's work. Still, we really do need Master Soren to start focusing on the business side of things soon. Could you tell us about that thing you mentioned about Soren's past? There is something in Master Soren's past that he wishes he could change. Please forgive me. This isn't something I should be sharing with strangers. Now I really want to know what Soren's still hung up on. Pierce, the woman in this photo is Soren's older sister Selena, right? I don't think we've met her yet. Yes, about that. He seems hesitant all of a sudden. If you wouldn't mind, could you tell us about her? All right, very well. She's a big part of Master Soren's past, after all. Soren's past? Master Soren will become the next president of Sprocket Aviation. However, that wasn't always so. Miss Selena Sprocket, Master Soren's elder sister, was next in line. So why isn't she becoming the next president? Because she died in a car accident. What? I had no idea. Actually, Master Soren was also in the car with her at the time of the accident. Losing the sister he loved right before his eyes devastated him. Ever since then, he has buried himself in his research on time machines. He also became a quiet and meticulous, almost compulsive, note-taker around then. He seems so stiff and robotic. I had no idea he was carrying all that around inside him. Master Soren has abandoned the company business and spends all his time on inventions. As the family butler, I am truly concerned. I believe it is high time he let go of the past. Oh, it's the bridal bouquet. Hey Nick, how about I throw it? And you try to catch it. Why me? Just because. I bet you'd look hilarious flailing around trying to grab it. But doesn't tradition dictate that it's the ladies that go after the bouquet? Who cares? Just catch it. Here. Ow! Hey! You threw that right at my face. Oh, you don't want to catch that bouquet? Trust me. Why not? They say it's bad luck to catch the bouquet of a marriage that doesn't last. But I already caught it. Whoops, too late now, huh, Nick? Hey, Nick, what are you doing here? Larry? Oh, man, Angie gave me a heck of a hard time. Larry, what are you doing here? I came to promote my new character, Q Piglet. I was hoping Sprocket Aviation would do some kind of tie-in with me for it. Wow, I didn't know Larry was such an aggressive businessman. You can learn a thing or two from him, Nick. Why don't you promote your agency to them? Now's not exactly the time for that, in case you haven't noticed. See? And this is why you'll never be rich. Actually, Larry, I've been meaning to ask you something. You were there on the Flying Chapel yesterday, right? Huh? Was I? What were you doing there? Nothing. Whatever it was, I bet it wasn't anything to be proud of, but never mind that. Did you see anything that had to do with the case? Scratch that. Let's start with, you weren't involved in this case, were you? Larry? Hey, he took off! I just knew it. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Come on, Maya, after him! Oh, are you leaving so soon? We, have to run. Thank you for making time for us. I know you have to investigate, but please try to spare the family's feelings as you do. Yes, of course. There he is. Hey, Larry! Hey there, friend. Fancy meeting you here? There's nothing fancy about it. All we did was follow you. So tell me, Larry, why did you run away like that? Huh? Me? I don't know what you're talking about. A bolt of inspiration from my new picture book hit me and I had to run is all. It was like a cupiphany, you dig? Right. He's just going to keep on playing dumb, isn't he, Nick? Come on, Larry. I know you were on that airship, so what did you see? I didn't see anything! I didn't see anything because I was never on that stupid airship! Psyche locks. You say something? The spiritual power of this Magatama allows me to see these mystical locks that appear when someone is trying to hide something from me. They're called Psyche locks. When I see them, I simply press the Magatama to try my hand at breaking them. If I can unlock them, I'm sure to finally get a straight answer out of him.
Take that!
This is no time for games, Larry. I will find out what you're hiding. I'm telling you, Nick, you've got it all wrong. I've got nothing to do with this case whatsoever. Oh, come on, Larry. Even a baby could see through such a blatant and obvious lie. Nothing whatsoever, huh? If you weren't involved, Larry, then you wouldn't have been involved with this person.
Take that!
You're the one who brought Ellen to my office in the first place. And all those cops. Nothing to do with the case whatsoever isn't gonna cut it this time, Larry. If you have to lie, at least do a better job of it. Don't diss me, Nick! If you're so convinced I'm lying, then let me ask you this. What makes you think I was on that stupid old airship anyway? Let me see some proof, if you've got any. Doubling down, are you? Fine. You want proof, Larry? Here's proof that you were on that airship.
Take that!
Uh-oh. This is your business card wallet, isn't it, Larry? I found it in the reception hall. Good. Time to come clean, Larry Butts. What exactly are you hiding? All right, fine. You got me. I'll tell you everything. Larry, what were you doing on that airship anyway? Well, I went there to deliver the welcome to our wedding sign that they ordered from me. Huh? I didn't know you took on real jobs like that too. Well, for your information, my wedding welcome signs are very popular on the net. And that's how you met Ellen? Uh-huh. I mean, I'd seen her in the photo for the welcome sign, but seeing her in person, the way she smiled at me and said thank you, I felt like I'd been hit by lightning. And that's when you fell in love with somebody else's bride, huh? So, were you invited to the reception? Can you believe they told me only family and relatives could attend? They wouldn't even let me into the reception hall. Smart move on their part, I'd say. I got upset and started wandering around the airship. That must be when I dropped my business card wallet. So somebody else must have found it and brought it to the reception hall then. But you know what? I saw something incredible when I was on that flying chapel. Like? Get a load of this! Well, what the heck is this? What do you mean, what is this? Isn't it obvious? It's a drawing. I sketched a picture of one of the cabins on the airship. So, what's so incredible about a cabin? Look at what was outside the window. It's one of those flying dinosaurs, a real live pterodactyl. I looked out the cabin window and there it was, just flying out there. That airship traveled through time, I tell you. What? When I told that Pierce Butler guy about it, he told me to never mention it to anybody ever again. But why would he try to keep you from spouting what is clearly just nonsense? Maybe Sprocket Aviation is secretly developing a time machine. No way. Nick, this case is totally amazing. Larry, you didn't tell Mr. Edgeworth about this, did you? Of course not. Angie would just roll his eyes and think I was off my rocker. I didn't even tell him I was wandering around on the airship. I told him I met Ellie at the mooring dock and we ran away together. Yeah, I could see Edgeworth's eyes rolling right out of his head had he heard about this. So Larry also experienced the time slip somehow. But how is that possible? Hey, Nick. I'll be taking my card wallet back now, if you don't mind. Oh yeah, this is for you. What is it? It's a picture of the hold. I took it when I was wandering around on the airship. See? There's Ellie right there in the middle. The hold? Yeah, see? It's right here on the diagram. Okay, so now I know where the hold is. But what was Ellen doing there? Well, they were using it as a prepping area for the reception. I see. And around when did you take this? Before the reception. I took it while Ellie was getting everything ready. So this was taken before the incident occurred. I don't know if it'll be of any help, but thanks for this anyway. By the way, Larry, I heard that the door to the hold is controlled by a security system. So how do you get in there? That's a trade secret, can't tell you! And the hits just keep on coming. Well, I guess that's basically a wrap on the investigation. Not quite, Nick. I want to meet Ellen, too. Oh, that's right. You haven't met her yet, have you? Okay, let's head over to the detention center then, so you can say hi. No, why? Please understand, this is in Master Soren's best interest. Sounds like Ellen's busy talking with someone. The next president cannot be married to a criminal. It would disgrace Sprocket Aviation. Miss Ellen, I need you to forget about this marriage. Pardon us. If it isn't Mr. Wright. So, their marriage is definitely off? There is no other choice. We cannot have a criminal in the family. For the sake of Master Soren and the Sprocket family, this is what is best. No. In that case, what if Nick here proved Ellen's innocence? Then you wouldn't have a criminal in the family, right? I suppose you're right, but I'm afraid that will be impossible. That's not true, not for Nick. He may look like a nobody, but he can do some pretty amazing things. I don't take cases on lightly, so rest assured I will prove her innocence. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I understand your name is quite well known in the judicial world. For better or for worse. Pierce, I want you to promise me this. If I can prove Ellen's innocence, then you won't stand in the way of Soren and Ellen's marriage. Very well. But not even the most talented lawyer in the world can change reality itself. And the reality is, Miss Ellen is guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. I believe that's where you're wrong, Pierce. I'm clean, I swear I am! Obsessively, compulsively clean! Just as clean and pure as this pure white dress! Fine, you have my word, but you will be the one to regret this promise. Now, if you'll excuse me. Now I have all the more reason to win this case. Ellen, we finished our investigation and we'd like to talk with you about what we found. Okay, so what did you find out? In the course of our investigation, we heard that you had been standing in front of the victim with the murder weapon in your hands. It wasn't what it looked like! It's true I was holding the murder weapon. But when I found him, he was already dead! I panicked! And I was hoping I could go back in time again like I had done earlier. So I picked up the timekeeper from the pedestal and brought it over without thinking. You were so desperate you were ready to try anything, huh? Unfortunately, that sort of behavior makes you an easy target for the prosecution. No! And as for your little trip through time, none of your in-laws could confirm your story, I'm afraid. I see. The only exception is Larry. He said he saw something. Really? Well, what did he see? I can't say I quite believe it myself, but Larry claims he saw something incredible. He claims he saw a pterodactyl flying outside the airship. What? I'm gonna have to start going back to mute during streams again, aren't I? Not only that, but apparently Pierce Nickety told Larry to keep quiet about it. But why would Pierce do such a thing? Larry's theory is that Sprocket Aviation is developing something in secret. A time machine, to be exact. Do you think that's why nobody would confirm my story? Because it's a secret? I really don't know. But speaking of your in-laws, we did manage to find your key card at the Sprocket Manor. One of your in-laws said he'd keep an eye on it for you. Oh, thank goodness! I lost it while I was getting things ready for the reception. I'd looked everywhere for it. I'm so glad you found it! At least they're tears of joy this time for a change. Well, Nick, it looks like you'll have to prove the existence of time travel in court tomorrow. That's right! I swear that while Mr. Gloomsbury was being killed, I was busy traveling back through time! Great. With stodgy skeptic Edgeworth at the helm for the prosecution tomorrow, we're really gonna have our work cut out for us. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Ellen. I see you're still wearing your wedding gown. And I will continue to wear it until our marriage is saved. Oh, Soren! Do you think he came to see how she's holding up? Soren, my love, you came all the way to the courthouse just to see me? Oh, Soren, I don't know what to say. Blueprints. Huh? The engine blueprints. I can't find them. Do you know where they are? Oh, they're in your room. Third shelf from the bottom on the right-hand side. Ah, I see. He's leaving already? Don't tell me he came just to ask about some stupid blueprints. Is he really that cold of a person, or is that just how he comes off, I wonder? What about me, Soren? Ellen. He's back. Come home soon. I'm lost without you. Soren! Later. Looks like showing your vulnerabilities is the fastest way to capturing a woman's heart. You should take notes on this, Nick. Please leave me out of this. Anyway, it looks like Soren isn't big on words. But it's clear that he cares about Ellen. Knowing that, I actually feel kind of relieved. Mr. Wright, I just absolutely can't be found guilty, you hear? Don't worry, I'm going to do everything I can to prove your innocence. Thank you, Mr. Wright.
The trial's about to start, sir.
Edgeworth. Knowing him, he's not going to yield an inch. So I've just got to fight with everything I've got and save Ellen.
Court is now in session for the trial of Ellen Wyatt.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor.
Seeing so many familiar faces gathered together like this, I feel as though I'm at a grand reunion. It makes me want to go out for dinner and drink and reminisce with all of you.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea. I was dying for a real burger the whole time I was away. But we could make it a welcome back party for Maya. How about it, Edgeworth? I have no intention of cavorting with my enemies. Now then, Your Honor, let us start this trial at once.
Still not one for lighthearted banter, are you, Mr. Edgeworth?
Jokes and good humor are beyond worthless in a court of law. Guess we'll just have to have the party without him then. However, were it after the conclusion of this trial, I might consider joining you for your little welcome back party. I certainly wouldn't mind an invite at the very least. He's still as emotionally constipated as ever, I see.
Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please go over the details of this case for us.
The victim was Dumas Gloomsbury, a servant in the Sprocket household. He was in attendance at the wedding reception that occurred from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Mr. Gloomsbury apparently felt some animosity toward Ellen Wyatt, and so, a bit after the reception ended at 10 p.m., he assaulted Miss Wyatt with the intent to kill her. The defendant fought back and ended up killing Mr. Gloomsbury.
In other words, it was justified self-defense, correct? If that's the case, then the defendant might not be criminally responsible.
He's right. Worst case scenario, I could go for self-defense to avoid the criminal charge. I wonder how Edgeworth plans to counter that, though. The prosecution's first witness will make my view on the matter clear, Your Honor.
Very well. Bailiff, please bring in the first witness.
Please state your name and occupation, witness. Emma Skye, forensic investigator. And I'd just like to say, sir, that being in the same courtroom as you is a great honor. Oh, that's right. You're a fan of Edgeworth's, aren't you, Emma? We're good friends and all, Mr. Wright. But just this once, I intend to faithfully and fully testify for the prosecution. And I do mean that wholeheartedly. I expect no less from you. Yes, sir. I'm going to do my very best. Looks like you lost the popularity contest to Mr. Edgeworth, Nick. I really could care less. Besides, you'll see who's the better lawyer once I win this trial. Yeah, maybe then you'll actually really care less.
Now, Detective Skye, if you please.
The murder weapon was a clock called the Timekeeper. The victim was hit with it from behind, and he fell over right on into the lantern. The defendant was spotted then, standing in front of the body holding the murder weapon. The victim was struck twice, by the way. He was struck twice? That's right. There's no mistake about it. The first blow was to the back of the victim's head. It was hard enough to knock him unconscious. Yet, despite the fact that he had been immobilized by the first blow, the defendant delivered a second, fatal blow to the side of the victim's head. Which means... what exactly?
I figured it would go right over your head. Let's put it this way. By striking the victim a second time, the defendant killed her last chance to escape from any criminal wrongdoing. She did? But how, Mr. Edgeworth? The defendant may have been fighting back because she was being attacked. However, she then went on to deliver a fatal blow to a man who was already fully unconscious.
Nick, is he saying what I think he is? I don't feel so well.
And thus, Mr. Wright, has justified self-defense been removed from the table. The prosecution intends to prove that the defendant killed the victim with murderous intent. Allow me to belatedly submit the victim's autopsy report.
So that's why he was acting all smug. Well, more smug than usual. It's fine, right? It's not like we were going to plead self-defense anyway, right? Right, but now the judge has a negative impression of Ellen. He may not get to prosecute much anymore, but he definitely hasn't lost his touch.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Objection!
Detective Sky, I'm afraid I have to apologize in advance. For what? For embarrassing you in front of your idol. But what do you mean? If you take a close look at this photo of the crime scene, you'll see that the victim is lying on his back. But if the victim had been hit from behind as you claim, then he should have fallen over into the lantern face down. Ah! It's not enough to simply take somebody's side, Detective Sky, even if it is Mr. Edgeworth's. Ah! Oh.
There does appear to be a flaw in Detective Sky's testimony.
Mr. Wright, if you think I'm going to just back right down, then you're sadly mistaken. Emma's unusually fired up today. Don't forget, she's in front of her hero, Nick. If the Steel Samurai came to watch this trial, I'd want to do my absolute best too. Listen, Mr. Wright, it's entirely possible that the defendant moved the victim's body after he fell over. In that case, there wouldn't be any contradiction, right?
Indeed, that was an excellent counter-argument, Detective.
You can count on me, sir. So, what do you have to say to that, Mr. Wright? Is it possible that the victim's body was moved after he fell into the lantern? Sorry, Detective, but there's no way the victim's body was moved after his death. Oh, really? And what makes you so sure? One look at this here and it should become obvious. What exactly are you pointing at, Mr. Wright? Oh, this right here?
What you're trying to communicate is not obvious at all, Mr. Wright. But this penalty should make my feelings on the matter pretty obvious, even to you.
The only thing that's obvious right now is the pain in my attorney's badge.
Take that!
Those broken bits of the lantern? Yes, if the body had been moved after the fact, these fragments would have fallen off of it. But as you can clearly see, they're lying perfectly undisturbed on top of the body. This means that the victim must have been lying face up from before the lantern even broke. You're right! But wait a minute, if that's true, then when was the victim killed? I mean, the lantern was still whole during the reception, right? Right, which means we've just overturned a major assumption about this case. If the victim was already dead before the lantern was even broken, then the body must have been inside the lantern since before the reception started. In other words, the defense asserts that the victim was killed before the wedding reception.
What?
In short, when Miss Wyatt was seen standing in front of the body after the reception, it wasn't the moment just after the murder was committed. It was the moment she happened to discover the body, just as Miss Wyatt claims. Ah!
Objection!
Whether the act was committed before or after the reception is entirely inconsequential. After all, it was the defendant who prepared the reception hall for the event in question. Therefore, when the murder occurred, changes nothing with regard to her guilt. She could have killed the victim before the reception, as you claim, and then tried to hide his body in the lantern after the event ended.
Objection!
Sorry, but that doesn't make any sense. I mean, where would the body have been hidden during the reception in your scenario? That's... Even you have to admit, Mr. Edgeworth, that this has opened up a new possibility.
Do explain, Mr. Wright.
Well, if Miss Wyatt didn't commit the crime in the reception hall, then that means someone, somewhere, put the victim's body into the lantern.
I suppose that makes sense. A dead body couldn't have put itself in there.
Exactly, Your Honor. In other words, if the murder actually occurred before the reception, it opens up the possibility that... if the body was hidden inside the lantern, then it's possible that the body was moved along with it from somewhere else. Oh, you're right.
You can run that mouth of yours all you want. But do you have any evidence to support what's coming out of it, Mr. Wright?
Of course I do. I think the answer lies in that piece of evidence, and in something that was left at the crime scene that will point us to where the victim was really killed.
Very well, Mr. Wright. In that case, what proves the lantern and the body were moved from somewhere else?
Take that!
The photo of the victim again? Yes. I'd like the court to focus on this thing right here.
Take that!
Flower petals, Mr. Wright? These petals are from a kind of flower that were not present in the reception hall. This means they must have gotten into the lantern when it was somewhere else.
And just where do you propose this somewhere else to be, Mr. Wright?
I propose that this piece of evidence will tell us where the flower petals came from.
Take that!
Please take a look at the flowers in this picture of the hold. Notice how their petals are of the same shape as the petals in the crime scene photo?
Yes, I see. They do look to be from the same kind of flower.
Objection!
Is that really all you've got? A flower is a flower is a flower. They're all the same. I would hardly call what you presented compelling evidence.
I'm afraid I couldn't disagree with you more, Mr. Edgeworth. I gave a flower of this type to my lovely wife once when we were young. So I can assure you that this is very meaningful and compelling evidence indeed. The soundness of my judgment in this matter is backed by nothing less than pure love. But Your Honor...
Let it go, Mr. Edgeworth. It's clear you don't know much about flowers. It's not like you have anyone you'd actually give any to, after all. But maybe you should study up on them, just in case the opportunity presents itself.
No! This from the man who only knows the names of 3 types of flowers!
That's hardly relevant to the case at hand. The defense asserts that it's highly probable that the victim was killed in the hold. If the body was then placed in the lantern and moved to the reception hall for some reason, it would completely destroy the prosecution's case. Then you mean the body was... Yes, the victim's body was... inside the lantern during the entire beautiful wedding reception, while the defendant and her betrothed were celebrating their love.
What?
Objection!
Your smooth talk might work on His Honor, but it won't work on me.
What are you talking about now?
Take another look at all of the evidence and you'll soon see what I mean.
I wish you would just tell me already.
Detective Sky, I'm sure you've already figured out what I'm talking about, correct?
Of course, sir. Mr. Wright is the only one here who hasn't. Why don't you leave this to me, Mr. Edgeworth?
Very well. Let's see what you can do. Detective Sky, please give your testimony to this court.
The victim could not have been killed before the reception. The autopsy report states that the estimated time of death was after the reception. And that estimated time of death is correct. There's no way it could be wrong. It's clear Mr. Gloomsbury was killed after the reception. And that completely contradicts your claim. I guess so.
Tell me you took at least a cursory glance at the autopsy report, Mr. Wright. It appears you've grown rusty since our last outing. Might I suggest you go back and brush up on the basics?
Sure, though I must say, you're as cocky as ever, Mr. Edgeworth.
I beg your pardon?
But what are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? I'm just saying that I'll go back to basics if that's what Mr. Edgeworth wants. I'll prove how badly he's underestimating me with a good old-fashioned cross-examination.
Very well. Let's see you put your money where your mouth is, Mr. Wright.
Objection!
I admit that the estimated time of death does contradict my theory. Finally, and that means your theory that the victim was killed before the reception is still entirely plausible. Huh? Well, what makes you think that? The killer could have falsified the time of death by using a certain item in the reception hall. Please take a look at this.
And what is that contraption, Mr. Wright?
It's a fog machine, Your Honor, used to create a special romantic atmosphere in the hall.
And this machine could have been used to falsify the time of death?
Yes, Your Honor, because this machine uses dry ice to perform its magic.
Dry ice? Ah, yes, the super cold stuff commonly used to make theatrical fog, right? I see. So your claim is that this dry ice was used to keep the body cold?
Oh. In that case, I guess the victim could have been killed before the reception.
Order! Order in this court! Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this development?
That the victim was killed in the hold before the wedding reception. The prosecution acknowledges the possibility of this claim. Now we're getting somewhere. The prosecution would also like to thank you, Mr. Wright. Huh? For what? I didn't know how a certain piece of evidence fit into this case, but now, thanks to you, I do. What piece of evidence? To get into the hold, one needs a key card, like this one. And here we have a record of those who entered the hold with such key cards. The times aren't specified, but these are the last 3 entries on the day of the murder. And as you can see, the last person to enter the hold that day was the defendant. What?
So the one who moved the body out of the hold must have been...
That's right. It was none other than the defendant. Hey Nick, take a look at this entry record. There are a couple of other names on here besides Ellen's. Hey, you're right. According to the entry record, Mr. Edgeworth, Pierce Nickety had also gone into the hold. Isn't it possible that he could have been the culprit?
Objection!
Sorry, but Mr. Nickety was escorting a few of the guests at the time. I'm sure they would be happy to testify to that fact if you'd like. Think me cocky all you'd like, Mr. Wright, but my confidence is rarely misplaced. Now then, it's probably safe to assume that after killing the victim in the hold, the defendant moved his body to the hall in order to dispose of it discreetly. What do you mean by discreetly? The defendant volunteered to take care of the reception's cleanup personally. That means she would have had the chance to dispose of anything in any way she wanted, including taking the lantern off the airship without raising any suspicion. Don't tell me you didn't know about Miss Wyatt volunteering for cleanup duty, Mr. Wright. For my last task as a maid, as a servant of the Sprocket household, I offered to take on the preparation and cleanup of the reception banquet. I see. Look at you, sweating buckets like a rookie, even after all these years. Nevertheless, thank you for proving that the only person who could have killed the victim in the hold is... Ellen Wyatt! Ah! Great job, Phoenix. Now we're back to square one. Perhaps you should ask Miss Sykes for some help in reviewing Defense for Dummies. Way to go, sir! You've got Mr. Wright in a cold sweat. I wonder if maybe the promise of seeing that miserable look on his face is what brought me back to court today. It certainly made all of my stress and woes as chief prosecutor just melt away. I guess he had a lot of stress built up. I'll give him something to stress over before we're through today. Your Honor, the prosecution asks that you render your verdict at this time. Before that man over there tries to throw the court into chaos with his meaningless bluffs.
I see. Mr. Wright? Are there any last meaningful bluffs you'd like to present to this court?
Why does he have to assume it'll be a bluff? Nick, hurry up and throw a good one out there. I will. Well, all right then. Let's see. I've got it. How do you know it was Miss Wyatt who used her key card? After all, if it turns out that somebody else used her card, it would mean Miss Wyatt didn't do it.
Interesting. And are you able to prove this bluff to be true?
I assure you, I'm not bluffing, Your Honor. Well, now what? Wait a minute, Nick. I can think of a certain somebody who might have used Ellen's key card. You can? Remember? The one who was sneaking around the hold in spite of not being a family member? Oh, that's right. Your Honor, the defense would like to call a certain witness to the stand. I need the testimony of this person who may have entered the hold with Miss Wyatt's card.
Take that!
That's your witness? Are you saying that numbskull was on the airship?
He never breathed a word about that to me!
That's not surprising because Mr. Nickety told him to keep quiet about it. But Mr. Butts himself admitted it to me. He claimed to have found a way to sneak into the Flying Chapel's hold to see Miss Wyatt. This photo he took and gave to me is proof.
Then was it he who moved the lantern with the body inside to the reception hall?
You know as well as I that with him, anything is possible. And this is one possibility we should definitely look into.
I can't believe this. What in the world is he doing mixed up in this?
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Remember what we've been saying since elementary school?
When something smells, it's usually the butts.
Exactly.
Gah, that's Larry. He'll pay for this.
Well, if you want to extract your payment now, he's right up there in the gallery.
Yikes! Bailiff, seize the witness before he makes a run for it.
No! Why does this stuff always happen to me? Sorry, Larry, but you brought this on yourself.
Let us break for a 15-minute recess. I ask that both sides prepare for the next witness's testimony during this time.
Wow, it's been a while since I've had this much fun and excitement. A face-off against Mr. Edgeworth, a harrowing tightrope walk for the defense. Whoop, ad break. Whew, I'm exhausted already. Hey, boss! I'm here for moral support. Athena, are you all done practicing for Trucy's magic show? Well, to be perfectly honest, I sort of ran away. But that's because she was putting my life in danger, I tell you. I see. I think I'll need to have a one-on-one with her. You're really athletic and fit, Athena, so Trucy probably thinks she can run you ragged. That may be true, which is why not even Trucy can keep up with me when I run at full speed. Ha! Looks like you spoke too soon, Athena. Never underestimate the resourcefulness of a great magician. Huh? Magical girl Trucy Wright is on the scene. No! Now, Athena, it's time to practice human combustion magic. Go on, douse yourself in this gasoline. But don't worry, it's a magic trick after all, so it's perfectly safe. Run away! Hey, you're not getting off that easily. They get along so well, don't they? It reminds me of the good old days. You, me, and Pearlie. Oh, and Detective Gumshoe. Can't forget him. We had all kinds of fun at the crime scenes back then, remember? Leaving me to do all the serious investigating, as I recall. Court will soon be back in session, Mr. Wright. Right, thank you. So Larry's the next witness, right? I can't wait to see what happens. Sadly, I can already imagine it.
court will now reconvene.
Nick, Angie, the two of you are gonna hang me out to dry, aren't you?
No, not the both of us. Just Mr. Wright.
Nick, how could you?
I don't really think he did it, of course, but I've got to use whatever leads I can. Mr. Butts, there's a possibility you moved the lantern that had the dead body in it. So if you want to clear yourself of any suspicion, all you have to do is testify. Now then, your testimony, please, witness.
Nick, you big fat stinking jerk! How can you doubt your best bud? We've known each other since elementary school. Well, get this, pal. Our friendship's over.
Well, go ahead, Mr. Wright. He's all yours.
Why me?
You're the one who called him to the stand, so he's your responsibility.
Thanks, old chum. Can't any of you show me a little respect? Even just a shred?
You may cross-examine the witness, Mr. Wright.
I would, if there were any testimony to cross-examine.
Hold it!
Come on, Larry. Can't you please give me something real to work with? Don't think I don't know about your tricks. If I say something careless, you're gonna shove some evidence at me with a loud objection and a super smug look on your face. Yeah, well, that is my job. And if I get found guilty, how are you gonna take responsibility for what you've done? Why should I take responsibility for just doing my job? You heartless jerk! Don't you have any compassion for me?
Hold it!
I'm sorry, Mr. Butts, but if it wasn't Miss Wyatt that entered the hold with that card, then you're the most likely suspect. Nick, are you seriously doubting the innocence of your old childhood friend? Well, technically, yes. But it isn't personal, I assure you. Oh, a true friend would believe in me no matter what. Can't you see my tears? Don't they mean anything to you? Nick, Nick! You don't really think you can cry your way out of this, do you? Okay, fine! In that case...
Hold it!
Larry, listen to me. Shut up! I'm not talking to you anymore! This is getting us nowhere. Come off it, Larry. If you don't quit fooling around and start testifying, Miss Wyatt will be found guilty. For real?
If no new information comes out of this cross-examination, then yes, Mr. Butts, for real.
Not that I would have a problem with that myself. Larry, just tell us the truth already. Did you or didn't you go into the hold and move a lantern up to the reception hall? I never moved any bull lantern, I tell ya! Bull lantern? What? Did I say something weird? You told me that you didn't attend the wedding reception. Can't you believe they told me only family and relatives could attend? They wouldn't even let me into the reception hall. Yeah, so what? Then that's odd. No one in this courtroom ever mentioned the sex of the lantern that was moved. So how could you know that it was a bull lantern? You didn't have to actually go to the reception to know that. Anyone could tell there were two Pegabulls by looking at the Flying Chapel's pamphlet. All I can tell right now is that there's a strong scent of bull in the air in here. Please add that last statement to your testimony, Mr. Butts.
Anyone can tell there were 2 Pegables by looking at the Flying Chapel's pamphlet.
Objection!
I want you to take a look at this, Mr. Butts. Because unfortunately for you, the pamphlet clearly shows a Pega cow and a Pega bull in their example diagram of the reception hall. Huh? But on that day, instead of putting a Pega cow and Pega bull out for the bride and groom, there were 2 male Pega bulls on display. Yet somehow, you knew there were 2 Pega bulls in the reception hall that day. And this is turning into a very dangerous phrase to keep saying over and over again. There's only one way you'd know something like that, Larry. It was you who moved the Pega bull to the reception hall, wasn't it? Ah! No! Larry, you didn't!
Mr. Butts, did you move the lantern containing the victim's body to the reception hall?
That's what it looks like. What? Well, wait, Nick! You don't think I'm the murderer, do ya? Maybe you and Mr. Bloomsbury were fighting over Miss Wyatt and you ended up killing him? Maya! Not you too! Look, I did sneak into the reception, but that's as far as it went. You know me, I wouldn't hurt a fly. You snuck into the reception? Yeah, sure, but some of the sprocket men caught and locked me up in one of the cabins. It was pretty awful, actually. But that's what I made that drawing of the pterodactyl I showed you, Nick. Ixnay on the aerodactyl, Tay, Larry.
Mr. Wright, not even you would take this farce that far, would you?
We are talking about Larry. What do? Do I accuse Larry of being the true culprit? No, you're right, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Butts didn't have a reason to kill Mr. Gloomsbury. He might have had an imaginary reason to kill Soren Sprocket, sure, but not Mr. Gloomsbury. After all, he did steal Mr. Sprocket's bride and tried to elope with her. Just because I tried to steal somebody's bride doesn't make me a murderer! I believe you, Larry, and I don't think you killed anybody either. You would never do anything like that. Nick, old buddy, old pal. I knew you'd come through for me. Funny that, considering your sworn testimony just now that we were through.
Mr. Butts, it's time you told this court the whole truth. Understood?
It's just like Nick said. I'm the one who moved the lantern. I was poking around the reception hall before the main event and saw a lantern was broken. There was a note on it that said, "Exchange with the one in the hold, Ellen." So I decided to do Ellie a favor.
So you switched the lanterns before the reception, did you? Then that means the victim really was killed before the reception.
It would appear that Mr. Butts completely fell for the defendant's scheme. Scheme? What scheme? This note from the defendant, exchanged with the one in the hold, Ellen. Mr. Butts moved the lantern with the body in it up to the reception hall because of this note. And thus he has become a suspect in Mr. Gloomsbury's murder. That second lantern did feel pretty heavy. But I never would have thought there was a dead body in it. What was a note like that doing on a lantern in the first place? You've got it all wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. I left that note for myself. It was simply a reminder because I can be very forgetful.
Objection!
What a sorry excuse, Miss Wyatt.
The prosecution contends that this note shows one facet of the defendant's murderous plan. And you, Mr. Butts, you played right into Miss Wyatt's hands.
No way, Angie, I don't believe it!
Objection!
Do you still really believe Miss Wyatt to be the culprit, Mr. Edgeworth? Of course, my stance on the matter remains unchanged. If you think I'm wrong, then prove it with your cross-examination. Gladly.
Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Hold it!
Nobody saw you the whole time while you were switching the lanterns?
Nope, I didn't get caught. Not that time, anyway.
Not that time?
Yeah, when I tried to sneak into the reception hall the first time. I didn't have as much luck. Those Sprocket guys spotted me and nabbed me.
All of my words are failing me right now.
Pretty exciting, don't you think?
Larry, you need help.
And then they locked me up in one of the cabins. Nick, what are you asking about stuff like this for anyway? Shouldn't you be trying to prove Ellie's innocence?
Well, is that statement of his important to the case? Mr. Butt's trying to crash the reception and subsequently getting locked up in a cabin. I believe these might be important facts in this case, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Butts, please add that statement to your testimony. I tried to sneak into the reception hall, but I got caught and locked up in a cabin.
Hold it!
So you got locked up. Then what happened?
I broke out. Then I started looking for Ellie and wandered into the reception hall again. That's when I saw the broken lantern and replaced it.
Even after they caught you and locked you up, you still went looking for Miss Wyatt? But hold on a minute. What is it, Nick? Maya, doesn't something seem weird to you? Larry is saying he replaced the lantern after he broke out of the cabin. That's right. Oh, wait. Huh? You're right. It doesn't make much sense, does it?
Mr. Wright, have you found an inconsistency in the witness's statement?
Yes, I believe so, Your Honor. Mr. Butts moved the lantern after he broke out of the cabin, but that contradicts with this.
Take that!
Is that?
Yes, it's the broken lantern, Your Honor. Mr. Butts, what you're saying doesn't make any sense at all.
What? Why not?
You swapped the lanterns before the reception began, right?
Yeah, that's what I said, isn't it?
But you also just said that you swapped the lanterns after you got locked up in a cabin for trying to sneak into the reception. In other words, you're saying you swapped the lanterns both before the reception and after the reception took place.
That certainly doesn't make any sense, does it? Mr. Butts, did you swap the lanterns before or after the reception?
Which was it, before or after? There's a world of difference between the two. Well, Mr. Butts?
I guess I can't expect guys like you to understand. In a nutshell, it was both before and after the reception. What? I tried to sneak into the first reception and got locked up.
The first reception? Uh-oh, I don't like where this is going.
Then, through the power of Ellie's pendant, time got rewound and we went back to the time before the reception. It was after that when I replaced the lantern. So it was both before the reception and after the reception. Get it? We went back in time to before the reception. So of course the reception would take place one more time after that, right?
That's why what I said makes perfect sense.
Mr. Wright, what in the world is the witness talking about? Has he developed some sort of intellectual ailment I'm not aware of since I last saw him?
Well... None of the sprockets seem to remember this time skip, but I do. And Ellie remembers it too. I think the power of our love for each other that made that miracle happen.
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, but could you please translate this man's gibberish so the rest of us can understand?
So now I have to be the one to explain about the whole time travel thing? Go on, Nick. I know you can do it. Looks like you don't have much choice, Nick. To heck with it. I can't lose any more of my dignity today anyway. The defendant, Miss Ellen Wyatt, has told the defense the following strange story. She said that after the reception ended, she was attacked by Mr. Gloomsbury. She claims that, as she was being assaulted, she made a wish upon her pendant. Please take me back to that blissful moment. In doing so... time apparently rewound itself to just before the reception began. It's what? I know it's hard to believe, but think about it this way. Through the power of the pendant, both Ellen Wyatt and Larry Butts experienced time travel.
What?
Objection!
What absolute rubbish! Mr. Wright, I've heard my fair share of your nonsense over the years, but this takes the cake. Have you thoroughly lost your mind?
Objection!
But this is simply the conclusion I came to, using that logic ability you love so much. But what? The truth of the matter is, the future president of Sprocket Aviation, Soren Sprocket, has been researching time machines. So what if a time machine has already been successfully created? And what if that's one of Sprocket Aviation's top secret inventions?
A time machine?
Yeah, I even saw something while we were time traveling. I saw a pterodactyl flying through the sky. Maybe the airship was set to travel through time for their honeymoon trip?
What? A pterodactyl?
Objection!
You can't possibly have any evidence to back up your ridiculous time travel story.
Well,
As I thought. In any case, I now have the evidence to prove that you're no more intelligent than Larry.
Not so fast now, Edgy. I'm not the same old Larry you used to know.
Oh?
You want evidence? I've got your evidence right here. This is a photo I secretly took of the first reception.
What? What?
Look, Larry, I can't believe you. Well, anyway, good job. If we compare the photos of the first and second receptions and can find a difference, then we'll be able to prove that the reception was held twice.
But do you really think such a difference exists?
Yes, Your Honor. I just need some time to find it for you.
This is preposterous! Very well. Please show the court what's different then.
This is proof positive that the wedding reception was held twice.
Take that!
Please direct your attention to Miss Wyatt's bouquet of flowers. In the photo one of her in-laws took, the defendant is holding a yellow bouquet. But in the photo Mr. Butts took, she is holding a red bouquet. You're right.
That's impossible! What does this mean?
It means that the defendant really did experience 2 wedding receptions. And she did that when she traveled back through time.
What?
Nick, you did it! You proved Ellen's time travel story to be true. Yeah, I can hardly believe it myself. It's just as Ellen said, the reception was held twice. This turns every assumption we've based this trial on upside down.
Objection!
I refuse to accept such a ludicrous argument. It is pure fiction under the guise of pseudoscience at best. There is simply no such thing as time travel. I know it's hard, but can't you suspend your disbelief for 1 nanosecond, Edgeworth? I bet sci-fi movies push all your buttons the wrong way, don't they, Mr. Edgeworth? I can totally picture you yelling, "That never happened," every 5 seconds at the screen. Maybe you should stay away from movie dates altogether.
That's neither here nor there. This is real life we're talking about. But the proof is clearly shown in the 2 photographs.
That's right, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how...
Objection!
Fine, I'll entertain your absurd delusion. If only to demolish it before your very eyes.
What?
Let's start with this then, shall we? There is one thing your time travel theory fails to explain. And that is the memories of the other guests there. The defendant and Larry remember the reception occurring twice. But no member of the Sprocket family has even mentioned such a thing.
That's because the time machine is classified...
Objection!
I'm not done, you bird brain!
But bird brain?
As I was saying, if the entire family had been sworn to secrecy, then why hadn't they sworn the woman who was marrying into the family to secrecy too?
That's a good point.
Honestly, all it takes is a little common sense, Mr. Wright. Even still, how do we know that the trip through time did not really occur? There is proof in the photos that it did, and besides, if time travel doesn't exist, well, I'd be a little disappointed, frankly. I was hoping to go back to the days of my youth.
You mustn't allow yourself to be taken in by Mr. Wright's whimsical tales, Your Honor. I've read about it in various literature, you see. And they all say that time travel is just not logically feasible. Maybe our argument was just a little too nonsensical, Nick. Well, in that case, why don't we put common sense to the test?
Excuse me?
The wedding reception was held twice. The photos are proof of that. But it wasn't because of time travel. It's simply because the reception had actually been held twice. Isn't that the most reasonable way to interpret the situation?
Would you care to elaborate, Mr. Wright?
If time travel doesn't exist, then there's only one way to make sense of what happened. Somebody must have orchestrated this strange phenomenon, and that somebody is... What if all the guests at the reception conspired together to hold the reception twice and keep quiet about it?
What?
And for what purpose would they conspire to do such a thing? Well, a brilliant deduction defense. I can tell that you are not a renowned lawyer for nothing. I must say, I underestimated you. How so, Mr. Nickety? You have managed to name each event precisely as they happened. You have revealed it all to the light of day. Then that means... It was us. We orchestrated the whole thing. Yes, the reception was held twice. But not because of time travel, no. We simply held it a second time.
What? Why? Why would you do such a thing? To make it as though the murder Miss Ellen committed never happened. Master Soren figured that if Miss Ellen, who'd killed Bloomsbury after the first reception, experienced the reception one more time, she would think it was all a dream. It was he who ordered us to make it happen. However, only a few, myself included, knew of Miss Ellen's crime. Are you saying most of the guests attended 2 receptions without knowing why? Indeed, they needed no reason. Master Soren told them to do it, and do it they did. That is the Sprocket way. Then who hid the body in the lantern? We did. But we did not anticipate the petals finding their way in, nor the actions of Mr. Butts. And that's how you intended to cover the whole situation up? There is just one thing everyone here has wrong. The real scene of the murder was not the hold, it was the Vista deck. What? Then Miss Wyatt's recollection of the events must be correct. I admit we tried to cover this incident up, but the fact that Miss Ellen killed Bloomsbury is undeniable. This is quite a turn of events. And so it appears we have arrived at the truth at last. Now. Please do feel free to travel back in time, Mr. Wright, and attempt to do this trial over again. Go on. Let's not get hasty, Edgeworth. I bet you can't do it! I bet you can't either! Your Honor, we will have to hold a separate trial for the cover-up conspiracy later. But as far as this case goes, I believe we are ready for your ruling.
Objection!
Just before the defendant lost consciousness during her attack, she says she saw someone strike the victim. It's possible that this third party is the true culprit.
Objection!
You still want us to believe the defendant's words? Perhaps you've lost more than your touch during your time abroad. This third-person nonsense is nothing but rubbish, and you know it.
Objection!
But by the same token, how can we trust those who conspired and lied to fool this court of law? For all we know, they might still be hiding something. You never know when to quit, do you?
Now, calm down, both of you. In any case, there isn't enough trustworthy information yet for me to render a verdict. I suggest we continue the trial after both sides have investigated the matter further.
Very well, Your Honor. Phew, that was close.
Mr. Nickety, as for you and your cohort's attempts to cover up this crime, your case will be brought to a separate trial following the resolution of this current one.
Understood, Your Honor.
Well then, this concludes today's trial. Court is adjourned.
And that's where I feel like calling it for now. Well, so much for Time Traveler, eh? The last case. I'm gonna miss it. Alright then. Now for the raid. Lum's doing some Void Stranger. I've completely forgotten what that is. Did I not put that in, or is OBS deciding to be late? Alright, hold on. Try again. There it is. Sheesh. You know better than to be like this. We've arrived at a destination. Please watch your step as you disembark. Please follow if you liked. Thanks for watching. Peace be with you. And may the forces of evil be confused on the way to your home. Bye.